When it comes to making online content or reviewing games in general, people can remember the game that inspired them to start writing or to create content. Well, that's the case for me anyways.
Hello, my good friends. Let us get this victory royale, shall we not?
Wait, Jeffrey, did you make...
Now, I remember when I was a kid, I went to New Zealand and found a game called Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, which was a park building game on the original Xbox. Now, not having my Xbox with me as I was overseas, at least not at this time, anyways, when my family would go out and drink, I'd sit and read a fat, thick instruction manual back to front. Remember when games had instruction manuals? Anyways, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis was my favourite park building game. I wasn't a huge fan of games like Zoo Tycoon or Roller Coasters or anything like that, but making my own Jurassic Park, count me on board.
We will rule over all this land, and we will call it this land.
A couple of years ago we had Jurassic World Evolution, which was a modern version of my beloved Genesis, and this was the game that made me reach out to my local review magazines wanting to do freelance work for them. From there, of course, I've done my podcast, and now I've started my own YouTube channel, which thanks to you nearly has 1,000 subscribers. Now, if you can't tell what this game is all about, it's making, managing, and running your own Jurassic Park. Not only will you create pens and environments for your dinosaurs, but you'll also be able to create rides like the gyrospheres from Jurassic World or the iconic Ford driving rides that we've seen in the original Jurassic Park. There's also monorails for visitors to get around your parks, fossils to uncover, research to be done, weather events, challenges on top of just having a blast managing your own park. Though if you want to have access to the fun and iconic dinosaurs like the T-Rex, Velociraptor, or even the Indominus Rex, then you'll need to do the challenge modes and a bit of the campaign. Now, yes, there is a campaign here, but no, it isn't what you might think it is. Does that make sense?
See, here I'm now by myself, talking to myself. That's chaos theory.
Anyways, the campaign here is basically a bit of a tutorial teaching you how to create enclosures and manage dinosaurs, and for returning players from the previous Evolution 1, how to create nurseries and hatching grounds for flying and swimming dinosaurs, because that's right, you can now have the Mosasaurus here. So, there's the campaign that teaches you the ropes of the game with its different play styles. The campaign takes place after the events of Fallen Kingdom, with dinosaurs roaming the general wildlife rather than managing an island, and you'll need to prepare designated pens for incoming or nearby dinosaurs. You'll learn how to manage a dinosaur's needs, like how much space it has and what other dinosaurs it can get along with. For example, herbivores can generally get along with most other herbivores. If you have a large enough pen and there's food and its water needs are met, then sure, they'll be fine. Velociraptors, on the other hand, are much harder to deal with, as they only really get along with other raptors. They also need space to run, food to hunt, water, bits of forest, and if you can't manage them, they will escape, they will eat people, you will get sued, and you will lose money.
Velociraptor cages are open! They're the most dangerous dinosaurs of all. They attack in coordinated formations. My God, where did they learn that?
And a 5, 6, 7, 8. First Velociraptor. Good. Second Velociraptor. Yeah.
It's also sometimes not to say have a walking path, for example, next to or near a T-Rex pen, especially if you've got the wrong fence set up for that enclosure, as that can have them ramming and headbutting into fences. But it's not only about managing the dinosaur's temperament, but you also need to manage guests. Do they have a place to stay? Are there bathrooms nearby? Are there shops? You'll also manage the different types of guests with food and entertainment. It's not just enough to put a shop nearby for food, you'll also need to say what food is actually being sold in that shop. Placing vegan food outside of a T-Rex pen isn't really going to do well, seeing as the T-Rex is going to eat goats in front of them, but if you put vegan food in front of the Triceratops, then you're all set. You also probably want to set up emergency bunkers in case dinosaurs do get out, and trust me, they will get out. I've had a Brachiosaurus just get curious and step over a fence. It didn't hurt anyone, thankfully, but it made me lose money because people were scared and then they just didn't want to come back to the park. You can also set up rides like the gyrosphere from Jurassic World or the Ford Explorers, which you can have set up to go through enclosures. Now this is something to keep an eye on too. In a herbivore environment, you can generally have a heap of cars go through no problem as long as they're just not in the way. But I stupidly set up Fords to go through the Dilophosaurus enclosure. At first they didn't mind it, so I just increased the number of cars in the enclosure, and then they started attacking the cars and it caused a gridlock inside the pen. Now this is basically the same as Jurassic World Evolution 1 that came out a few years ago, but this year we've got flying and water dinosaurs, and the first thing I did was research and unlock the Mosasaurus, and it's pretty damn rad. And we've also got the GOAT, Jeff Goldblum, Bryce Dallas Howard, and a Wish.com version of Chris Pratt. Now there are a metric ton of dinosaurs available here to breed and even alter by changing their genome, and their skin and patterns can be changed as well. There's Jurassic World styled buildings, there's Jurassic Park styled buildings, there's a challenge mode which is basically a what if version of the movies. What if the original Jurassic Park didn't have Newman screw it over? What if Jurassic Park in San Diego actually went ahead with that really dope amphitheater? Look, I think it's safe to say that I had a damn blast playing with this game, and honestly I had moments where I'd said to myself, look, I'll just check on the T-Rex pens and then I'll log off. And from there, a storm came in, so I had to send the guests into a shelter. And then fighting broke out with my raptor, so then I had to send in a medical team to scan for an injured raptor, sedate her, and then get her fixed up. And then the damn Brachiosaurus just walked out of its containment. Before I knew it, I'd been streaming this game on Twitch for about 4 hours. Though there are some things I just wasn't a fan of, and I hope they get added into the next game because holy crap, this series so far is damn great. For starters, you can't have a park as big as Jurassic Park or as big as it was in Jurassic World. You're contained to the map, size, and when putting pens and dinosaurs and setting everything up, you can't have everything out all at once. For the lagoon for the Mosasaurus and water dinosaurs, you can't have a giant containment bay like how it's set up in Jurassic World. You're stuck to the confinements of the lagoon. Sure, you can make it bigger, but it doesn't make it as cool and big and wide as it is in Jurassic World. When playing in Sandbox Mode, which is basically playing in a creative free mode without having to worry about financials or actively really managing dinosaurs, the awesome amphitheater that's in San Diego can't be used in Sandbox Mode, but it can be used in the challenge mode. Graphically, it looks damn great and creating a park is cool as shit, but every building, unless it's a fence, needs to be connected to a footpath, and the amount of times I got stuck wondering why my hatchery couldn't be used, it's because I just hadn't connected a footpath to it and it was kinda broke me. There are some things too that the game doesn't necessarily tell you. The campaign isn't about creating a park or managing dinosaurs and guests. You'll get that from the challenge mode and the chaos theory mode. You're also not told about the different types of guests your park will have, like the mega rich, the thrill seekers, or the vegans, and again this is something that you'll need to learn as you play. You can't have crazy stupid fun like you could say in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Back in that game I'd say I'd make a large Coke $1, but then I'd make it a $15 charge if you wanted to go to the bathroom. Now you can genetically modify dinosaurs, and honestly, I never found myself spending time, money, or effort into this, but that is my personal playstyle.
Corporate felt genetic modification would up the wow factor.
They're dinosaurs, wow enough.
However though, I loved Jurassic World Evolution 2. It would have been great if we got Chris Pratt on board doing the voice acting here, seeing as he's doing Garfield and fucking Mario. It's also a shame that we can't manage a park that covers a larger area like in the films, but I can't say I didn't have fun here. I found myself sinking hours of gameplay in what felt like a few short minutes. I constantly upgraded my park, re-evaluating my pens and the park's floor plan just to maximize space. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is available now, and if I'm honest, if you like the Jurassic Park films, then you need to check this game out.